He slammed the gavel with a smirk, convinced his badge and his black robe made him untouchable. But the moment she walked into his courtroom, calm and silent, everything began to unravel. Because what he never realized was that silence can be the loudest form of justice. The courtroom was heavy with silence, broken only by the arrogant scrape of the judge's chair. His badge gleamed under the fluorescent lights as if it were a shield against accountability. He believed power meant protection, that no one could touch him. But the wrong woman had just stepped into his courtroom, and in her silence, she carried a storm. She looked small at first glance, a simple black dress, plain shoes, a folder pressed against her chest. The crowd barely noticed her, yet every step she took carried the weight of something unseen. She wasn't here to argue, she wasn't here to plead, she was here because he thought his badge made him invincible, and she was about to prove him wrong. The judge leaned back with casual arrogance, eyes narrowing as if to intimidate her. Many had crumbled under that gaze before, but she did not. Her calm unsettled him. For the first time, he felt something unfamiliar, the quiet pressure of being measured by a standard higher than law. She had once worn a uniform herself, not a robe, not a badge, but fatigues that smelled of dust, iron, and sacrifice. Long before she ever entered a courtroom, she had walked through war zones where silence was survival, where respect was earned in blood and fire. She carried memories of nights lit by the glow of distant flares, of comrades who never came home, of letters folded carefully into her pocket that smelled faintly of home but never reached their sender. In the desert heat, she had learned what true authority meant. It wasn't medals or stripes. It wasn't titles carved into desks. It was responsibility, the willingness to carry another's burden, even if it meant breaking under the weight. That knowledge clung to her like a shadow, even now, in this room where justice felt fragile and hollow. The people in the courtroom shifted uncomfortably. They sensed the tension but did not act. Some stared at their shoes, some whispered quietly. Bystanders, witnesses to injustice, but unwilling to risk their own comfort. Their silence was a shield for the man in the robe. Yet her silence was something else entirely. It was not protection, it was resistance. The judge grew restless. He raised his voice, tossed words like weapons, assuming each one would slice through her composure. But she stood still, unshaken. Every insult he hurled only revealed his own fear. The imbalance of power was clear. His authority rested on fear, hers on dignity. Somewhere in the crowd, an old man straightened his back. He had seen her kind before. Soldiers who carried their pain quietly, who demanded nothing, yet deserved everything. He recognized the subtle way her hand touched the folder, not to clutch it in fear, but as though inside it was a truth too sharp to be ignored. A truth she would not have to shout. A truth that would speak for itself. At last, she placed the folder on the table. The papers inside slid forward like a blade unsheathed. Documents, testimonies, evidence long buried. The judge's smirk faltered. His eyes scanned the pages, and for the first time, his hands trembled. Because what he saw was not an accusation, it was proof. Proof of abuses hidden under badges, decisions that had destroyed lives, rulings that had silenced the innocent. And with every word on those pages, his power crumbled. The room shifted. Those who had been silent now leaned forward. Some stood. A tide was turning, one he could not command with a gavel. The woman said nothing, but her presence demanded everything. Authority is not immunity. A badge is not armor. Respect is not given, it is earned. Those words lingered now, though she did not speak them. They echoed in the conscience of every soul in that room. The judge tried to regain his voice, but it cracked. His robe, once a symbol of fear, now looked like a costume draped over a man revealed as small. The weight of the evidence, the quiet strength of the woman, and the growing murmur of the crowd left him cornered. And then something remarkable happened. One by one, people in the gallery rose to their feet, not with shouts, not with jeers, but with silence, a wall of quiet dignity that mirrored hers. Silent honor is louder than arrogance, and in that moment, the judge was utterly alone. His badge did not make him untouchable anymore. Her silence had spoken louder than any accusation. His downfall was not sealed by anger, but by dignity. When she left the courtroom, the crowd parted for her, as if a soldier was marching once again. She carried no victory speech, no outward triumph, only the steady heartbeat of someone who had kept faith with what was right, even when others would not. There are moments when power is revealed for what it truly is, not strength, but weakness cloaked in fear. And there are moments when silence reveals its own truth, that dignity does not need to shout, that justice can stand without words. Two lines would linger in the minds of all who were there. Respect is not given, it is earned. Silence can be the loudest form of justice. And as she disappeared into the evening air, the lesson remained. The strongest battles are often fought without a sound, and the greatest victories are those that restore dignity to the human spirit. So, where are you watching from today? And what do you believe is the true measure of respect? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more stories that honor silent heroes, subscribe and stay with us. Because sometimes the quietest stories are the ones that change us forever.